Tampa Native Show. I'm Mario Nunez alongside of my partner,
Steve Canella.
Steve Canella, third generation Tampa Natives, and we're so glad you're sitting out there watching us tonight. Listen, we're coming to you live from the studios of TBCN in Tampa, Florida. For those of you that are watching around the globe, and we know you're out there watching, thanks so much for tuning in online. For those of you watching here locally, thank you as well for being there with us. We'd like to take the first few moments of the show, introduce ourselves, talk a little bit about our group, how it got started. Steve, tell them a little bit about how we got started.
Well, Tampa Natives, we're online on that large networking site you may have heard of. And Mario, what does it resemble, the name?
It sounds, I believe it rhymes with race cook, something like that. But just know that everybody knows which social networking site it is that shall remain nameless. Go ahead, Steve.
Well, the idea mainly started as an experiment, and what led up to the experiment was basically based on a comment that we would always get, or at least I know it happened with me. I'm sure it happened with Mario. I'm sure it happened with all Tampa Natives out there. But over the years, whenever I asked someone, or when I met someone and they asked me, where you're from, or what's your background, I said, well, I'm from Tampa. I'm actually a Tampa native, and third generation Tampa native actually. And Mario, what was the response that you used to get?
Sometimes, they look at you with that quizzical look and they say, hey, man, you must be old as hell.
Third generation.
Third generation, you got to be. What's that, about 90 years old, 120?
Yeah, there you go. And what's the other response?
Well, the other response is, man, you look great for your age, third generation.
Also, yeah, exactly right. In fact, the most common response was that, or, that's just really rare. I mean, you must be the only one left. Are there any more left of you guys? But, and after you hear something so many times, you start believing it. So basically, that kind of led up to the idea of creating this group online called Tampa Natives. And it was just an idea to see if, are there other Tampa Natives out there, like myself, like Mario?
And so it began. Steve last March decided that, and quite a savvy move it was, to see just how many Tampa Natives were out there. So he created this social networking site. And before too much longer, he had about 15 or 16 people join in the first few days. And then a couple of discussion threads began to pop up. And people started to realize, how those networking sites work, where if you know somebody who knows somebody, they're always making a suggestion, hey, you might want to talk to this person because this person, well, before too much longer, how many people did it exponentially jump up to right quick, Steve?
Well, it started with about 17 for about a month. And then one day, it was 17 in the morning. By noon, it was about 60. And by the evening, it jumped to 90 members. And now we're looking at 5,400 members of Tampa Natives.
Which is pretty impressive, which is very impressive, actually. So Steve starts this site last March. Let's take him through the progression real quick. Okay. Steve starts this site last March. Steve and I meet up at a social, Hillsborough High School, Jefferson High School get-together at International Plaza. The next thing I know, hey, Steve, you're the guy that started that Facebook, that page, that social networking page. And I said, look, you've got some interesting stuff going on there. Why don't you and I meet up for coffee? Say Panera's, and let's go over there and hash this stuff out, see what we can do with this. Well, lo and behold, the first function that we had later that summer was we answered the phones for the MDA telethon.
Exactly.
For Jerry's kids. Matter of fact, we had those shirts made out there, and 11 of us, 12 of us showed up and answered the phones for Jerry's kids. We kind of made our first entry into the public consciousness. We were fortunate that the ABC Action 10 News team came over to us and interviewed us on camera, so that kind of gave us a little bit of exposure, and we were off and running. Well, from there, it turns out we floated an idea. We floated an idea out sometime in August. We talked it over. Hey, Steve, remember back in the late 70s and early 80s when everybody used to go to the local hotels and maybe the Holiday Inn would put on an event where for one price, an all-inclusive price, you got your champagne at midnight, you got your dance, you got your party favors, and everybody went. It was a package deal. So we threw it out there to the membership, which by this time was already upwards of 1,000 people. And we got an overwhelming response. Tell them how that went, Steve.
That was wonderful, actually. There was about 120 people that showed up. It was a white tie event. We and Mario and I were dressed in tuxedos, and
yes, we were.
Overwhelming response. It was a great time. In fact, it brought back the memories of what we used to do with New Year's Eve back in the day. And that was probably in the late 60s through early 70s that ran, and then it kind of just faded out, and more people went to little home parties instead of doing the hotel package deals. So we kind of brought that back with the Tampa Natives concept, and it was an overwhelming success.
It was. It was.
Oh,
we
yeah.
we had a great time. Well, now we've got some momentum going. Now we've got people showing up. They know that we're capable of putting on a pretty good show. So the new year gets here, and we have a bowling event down at Panorama Lanes, and about 25 people showed up for that, and that was kind of fun. Beyond that, we went ahead and decided, well, it's baseball season now. Why don't we do something with the Tampa Bay Rays? We put an event together this past May, and 45 people showed up for that. You see what's happening now, Steve? More and more people are starting to come into the fold.
Catching on.
And, yeah, they're catching on, and that was a great event because we had a Rays game. They beat the White Sox that night. We had a Hall & Oates concert afterwards.
That was a blast.
And now, well, people are starting to get to know who we are. Membership has doubled in size. We're probably upwards of 3,000 members by now. And Steve and I realized that something real special is going on. We pretty much realized we had a tiger by the tail, and we weren't quite sure where it was going to go, but we knew we wanted to go along for the ride. So the next event we planned just happened recently, and it was kind of special too. We ended up doing another Rays event. We went back out there August 13th, Friday the 13th, when the Rays were playing in the throwback uniforms of the Tampa Tarpons, those special uniforms from the 1970s. That night in particular, the Village people were playing in a post-game concert, so boy, everybody showed up for that. And there were about 60 of us there on the Captain Morgan party deck. And the highlight of the evening was when Todd Callis, who works for the Rays broadcasting team, came over and interviewed a group of us there on the party deck. Steve was there in his construction worker outfit. I was decked out in the leather goods of the biker, and we had a couple of other members. We had them all represented. We had the Indian, we had the construction worker, we had the cop, we had the cowboy. Everybody was there, and that was a fabulous night. Well, things have just progressed and gotten bigger and bigger and faster and faster. This week in particular was a pretty special week. What happened to us this week, Steve?
Well, this week here we're going to be interviewed with the Tampa Tribune on Monday, and we're going to be in the paper next Wednesday. Is that right, Mario? It's coming out next Wednesday, I believe.
Next Wednesday?
It may be online a little sooner, but...
and just this morning,
yeah.
What happened to us this morning? Where were we this morning,
This morning we were on 88.5. It was great. We're on the radio. Phenomenal.
We were on the FM radio dial, 88.5 WMNF, with Franco Silva on the Latino 54 show. So here's what's happening. We're getting all this exposure. Things are happening in a sort of a serendipitous way for me and Steve. We realized early on that, yes, to answer his original question, there are plenty of Tampa natives still around. And what we're also realizing is that most of us are at the age now where, well, quite frankly, we've got more behind us than ahead of us, and a lot of us are now reconnecting with our roots, reconnecting with our history and our past, attending high school reunions and junior high reunions and sixth grade reunions, and so we're kind of, Steve and I are kind of taking this all the way out. We're playing the string all the way out, and look what has happened today. Through the magic of television and the internet, here we go, coming into all of your homes live, with a live television format and a call-in format, which we'll be asking for your calls in just a few minutes. But we wanted to let you know at least who we were and what we were all about. And Steve and I talked about this today. Tell them a little bit about our conversation relative to the preservation of our history and culture.
Well, the whole Tampa Natives concept is really about preserving the memories of Tampa, our heritage, our history, and our culture, our community. And it's become more of kind of advancing from a social networking idea initially to more of a preservation project of Tampa natives and preserving all these memories. We're at a point now where we're going to be losing a generation, and a lot of these memories are going to go away to never be stored or recorded or preserved. So Tampa natives is pretty much helping to preserve that. It's becoming like best way to describe it would be a living encyclopedia, where the authors of this encyclopedia are not Mario and I ourselves, but it's everybody, all the Tampa natives who are members. So they're uploading their pictures. They're creating discussion topics on certain things of the past. So it's just really, really been a great thing. But it's been turning into more of a preservation project, you might say.
People are also starting to show up in good numbers, in big numbers. I mean, what we found out is that because of our unique history, because of our unique story with Ybor City, with the immigrants that came here from Havana, Cuba, from Las Asturias in España, and from San Stefano, Sicily, that whole confluence of energy and verve and life that was breathed into Ybor City and the cigar industry has spawned incredible memories, incredible history. Steve and I are both descendants from those people that came here. In the last week and a half since the show was imminent and we started to promote amongst our friends on that networking site, people have just shown up. People we haven't heard from in a while, and what can we do to help? What a great concept. How can we be a part of this? We want to help in any way we can. So, we just left the waterfront. If you noticed, our background has changed. Now we have the Tampa Natives logo there, and I'm glad, because for a minute there, Steve and I were wondering whether we should break into our dialogue from On the Waterfront. We have been rehearsing that all day for you, but that is our official Tampa Natives logo behind us now. We're going to entertain your calls in just a few minutes. Tonight we're going to ask that we keep it real simple. For those of you that are out there close by your phones, and we know you are, we've got your cell phones at the ready. When it comes time here in just a minute, we'll ask that you call us and simply tell us what elementary school you went to, what junior high you went to, what high school you went to, and maybe what year you graduated. That way we know what part of Tampa you grew up in, and in a roundabout way we'll figure out just how old you are. And as a side note, I didn't tell you this earlier, but just before we went on the air, this is pretty interesting, just before we went on the air, talk about a Tampa native and a Tampa original, as I was doing some last minute fixing up in the restroom, I'm coming out of the restroom and there's this big tall fellow there in the lobby. He's got his back to me, shoulders about that wide. And I kind of heard the voice and I kind of saw the profile for just a second. And sure enough, man, when he turned around to leave the building, it was none other than ex-Robinson High School, University of Florida great, and Philadelphia Eagle and Houston Oiler, John Reeves. Apparently he was in here just a few minutes ago taping a show, or maybe on the live show at 8:30 before we went on the air. But it was neat to see him, and it was great to see another Tampa native. So you can find us. This will be a good time to let you know that if you're new to us, if you don't know where to find us, you can write online, tampanatives.com. It's just that simple. You don't even have to put in the www anymore.
Exactly.
Tampanatives.com. It'll take you right to our homepage, and at that point you can link up with us. If you want to send us an email, if you don't have your phone, if your battery has just died, Steve's got his laptop open. And the neat part about doing live TV in real time is that email address that you see there at the bottom of the screen will shoot Steve a direct email, at which point he'll be able to read that on the air. So, shall we go ahead and at least give him the phone numbers now?
I'd say so.
And at this point, we can entertain calls. We're about
Absolutely.
15 minutes into the show. We've got a lot of stuff to tell you tonight. We don't want to throw it all at you at once, and we'd like to see who's out there listening at this point. Mr. Director, through the magic of television, there's the live call in. Steve, why don't you tell them the number?
It's 254-7820, local Tampa number, 813 area code, 254-7820. Email is show@tampanatives.com.
So if you're calling from here, pick up the phone, dial directly. If you're calling from out of state or downstate or upstate, dial that 813 first. Well, we've got callers already, so thank you. We kind of anticipated this happening. We're going to go right to the phones and see who's on here. Let's go to line 4. Caller, are you there? We're so glad you're with us. Tampa Natives Live.
And I'm glad you're with us. Congratulations on your show. I've been really looking forward to this.
And who might I like to say thank you to?
No, this is Dave. Dave, one last name, Dave Brumley.
Dave Brumley. Hi,
Hi,
Dave. Good to hear from you.
I'm going to give you your last name since I'm the first guy to call on a new show ever.
Awesome.
It goes on for a long time. So.
Thank you, brother. We appreciate it. We've been communicating back and forth on that social networking site, Dave, and we know you've been following our progress, and we look forward to seeing you out at the next event. In keeping with what we're asking today, go ahead, Dave. Tell us your elementary school, junior high, high school, and what year you graduated.
I went to Ballast Point Elementary. I still drive there as often as I can, and sometimes there's a tear in my eye.
Attaboy.
I went to Madison Junior High School and barely graduated from Robinson High in 1977.
1977, excellent.
Wow.
Well, Steve's a graduate of Hillsborough, 78. I'm 76, so we were there at the very same time. We got Hillsborough, Robinson, and Jefferson represented. Dave, thanks for calling. Thanks for the well wishes, and by all means, tune in from week to week. We're going to have some special things that we're going to do, some giveaways, some contests, and we'd love to have you participate.
that, by the way, I love that first graphic. I had forgotten all about the water tower that was actually made to look like a liquor bottle.
That's right.
That's a good
That's
memory.
right.
Well, we've
Right.
got a lot of them. You know, as the show progresses, we're going to be throwing some pictures at you that you may have not seen in the last 35, 40 years, or maybe even ever. We've got some special people that are going to be working with us. Johnny Sinchette comes to mind, and Dan Perez, that are two excellent resources. So just kind of stay hard by the TV. 9 o'clock on Wednesday nights, and we'll look forward to hearing from you again.
Thank you, Dave.
Thank you, David. Excellent way to start, partner.
No. Go ahead.
All right, let's go to line 5 and see who's there. Line 5, this is the Tampa Native Show. Of course, I'm Mario. That's Steve. Who's on the line?
This is Mike Barula.
Oh, Michael. Hi, Mike.
Hey, Mike.
What's happening, bro?
Thanks for calling.
Yeah, I'm so glad you called, Michael. You know, I talked a little bit about it earlier when I mentioned that people are showing up now and offering their services and offering their time and just wanting to help promote the concept of Tampa Natives and the Tampa Native Show. And the gentleman that's on the line right now, Mike Baluja, is one. Mike, tell us, Mike, what elementary school, junior high, and high school did you go to, and what year did you graduate?
Well, first of all, I started off at Mother Goose Nursery.
Nice.
Okay.
That's a classic there.
Thanks for going back in time for us.
Yes.
From there, I went to McFarland Park.
Okay.
Then from there to Cuesta.
Very nice.
Then from there to St. Joseph.
Okay.
Wow.
And from there to Jesuit High School.
Excellent.
Okay.
And then finally to USF.
And you graduated high school what year, Michael?
I graduated high school in 1975.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
My old stomping grounds.
An
Jesuit.
original. And a side note, and we can mention this now because I know my mom and dad are watching. My father worked with your father for many, many, many a fabulous year at the Columbia restaurant. Is that correct?
Yes, and my father was very proud of his tenure over there.
Yeah. And
He was one of the original Hall of Famers of the Columbia restaurant, and he worked for, I think,
Wow.
30 years over there. Had a wonderful tenure over there.
yeah, those are great memories. I tell this story often. I'll probably tell it again, Mike. And tell me if you had this same experience. I thought for many, many years when my father would come home from work, you know, he'd work the split shift, maybe he'd work a lunch and then he'd work a dinner. And he'd come home late on Friday nights and I'd stay up as late as I could to wait for him. And he'd come in. It was always the same routine. The door would close, his keys would hit the table. I'd know it was my father. So I'd come out to say, "Hey, Dad, ¿qué pasa, viejo?" And I'd give him a big hug. And I thought for years my father's cologne was caldo gallego, bro. Did you have that experience too?
Oh, yeah, that's a very familiar story. And I can remember my father coming home on Friday night with a different colored flan de leche. Oh, my God. Right before Shock Theater.
There you go.
Oh, yeah. Shock Theater.
Unbelievable, but I remember that very well, yes.
Those are the special things that make our memories and the Tampa Natives group and, of course, this show, hopefully, as special as it is. Michael, we got other calls. Thank you so much for being as supportive as you've been, and I look forward to talking with you probably tomorrow, okay?
One last thing before I go.
Dime.
My wife wants one of those T-shirts.
Okay. We'll be in touch, Michael. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Mike. Thanks, Mike.
Hasta luego, Papa. Bye.
Mario, before we take the next call, we got an email from one of the Tampa Natives.
Caller, we see you there. Stand on the line for a second. We got an email from Tampa Natives.
We
Steve,
sure
read
did.
that.
We sure did. We have Joseph Abin.
Oh, Joseph Abin, okay.
And he went to elementary. He went to two elementaries, Orange Grove Elementary and Stephen Foster Elementary. Junior high school, Sly Junior High, Hillsborough High School, graduated in 1967. And he says he loves Tampa Natives online. And by the way, Joseph was a big baseball, little leaguer.
Joe had a great run.
Yeah, he did.
Joe was a pelotero few in the city of Tampa, especially back in the 60s. Joe, we got to have a talk, you and me and Steve, and I know we tried to form an over 50 softball league last year. It didn't quite come together. Maybe we can revisit that either in the fall or early spring of next year. But thanks, Joe, for sending the email, and thanks for being a part of our Tampa Natives family. We appreciate that very much. Thanks for those pictures, too. They were great, those pictures that you uploaded.
Those are awesome.
Let's see who's on line 4. Caller, this is the Tampa Native Show. My name is Mario. That's Steve. And who's calling?
Hey, Steve and Mario.
Steve.
Okay. It sounds
Okay,
familiar,
I know the voice.
I know the voice.
I know the voice.
It's Sue-Ann Peru.
Oh, Sue.
Oh, Sue-Ann. Oh, my
Hi,
gosh.
Sue-Ann. How are you?
Hi, guys.
Thanks
How
for
are
calling.
you?
Thanks for calling.
I'm so excited to watch you.
Wow.
Can you see us on TV? There we are.
And I wanted to be the first Lato Falcon, class of 74,
I think you are.
You are.
I think you are.
Yeah, how about it?
That's
That's
very
all.
cool.
That's
Very cool.
great.
I'm so glad you guys are out there and coming through for us. I mean, you know, the line has been one after the other, and emails as well. Sue Ann, tell us so that everybody knows. What year did you graduate? Go back all the way to elementary school, junior high, high school, and what year did you graduate?
My elementary school was Town and Country Elementary, and my junior high was West Junior High,
Okay.
and Lato High School class of 74.
Okay.
And growing up in Tampa, I was lucky enough on 2 different occasions to literally be sitting next to my first grade school teacher, Mrs. Cuesta, Pauline
Oh, yeah.
Cuesta. Shout out to Mrs. Cuesta.
Mrs. Cuesta.
Where else can you do that? You know, whatever. 50 years later, to be sitting, I was sitting at Averoni's and she's at the next table. And, you know, I say that Tampa's a tiny little town.
We say all the time.
It still is.
We say all the time. Steve and I laugh about this. When we were growing up here, Tampa was a small town, and either you were somebody's cousin or you knew somebody's cousin, because basically the town was just that small.
And
You know?
Absolutely right.
And by the way,
Absolutely.
she was at our last event, Sue Ann.
Yeah, Sue Ann is she's been at the last 2 events, because I forgot to mention we also had an event at the Columbia Restaurant.
That's right,
Where we had a luncheon there, an appreciation luncheon, and Sue Ann was there for that one as well. She's been a great supporter. We're pleased to have her in our family, and we look forward to seeing her at the next event as well. Sue Ann, thank you for calling.
Oh, good luck to you guys. It's a pleasure to sit here and watch you and talk to you.
How do we
That's
look? Do we
great.
look okay?
Okay, how about
How do the shirts look? The shirts look okay?
I-
You got one of these, don't you?
I'm sorry?
You've got one of these, don't you?
Absolutely, I do. Mine looks better than yours.
I know. I know it does. I know it does. I don't know where to clip the mic. I need a collar. I got, you know, there's all these wires hanging all over. But
Get your black leather jacket back
oh
on.
that's
boy,
right,
it's
that's
so,
right.
that, listen, with these lights in the studio, I would melt. But
Okay,
Thanks, Sue Ann.
I want to say congratulations.
thank you
Well,
so much
thank
for your
you.
support. We really appreciate
Yeah,
it.
thank you for calling, Sue Ann.
Anytime.
Bye bye.
Bye.
So I got a little message from my director, who's off camera here in my earpiece, saying that the microphone on our telephone is acting a little rambunctious and fastidious, and it's not working, not cooperating. So what I'll try to do is when the next caller calls, I'll lean in a little bit with my mic and see if we can pick up the sound. I'll also turn up the volume. If the mic comes back, Jeffrey, let me know, would you? Okay, thank you. Well, we'll take a little pause now for the cause, because we don't have any callers, and callers, call in. Those of you that are out of state, and we know you're watching online, call in. We'd like to hear from those callers as well.
That's right. Good point, Mario. There's a lot of Tampa natives that are in other
Where's
other
the
states.
furthest Tampa native that you've heard of,
I'd say Idaho.
that you know personally?
Idaho, and you know, he was one of the original 17 actually, and
Really?
the actual name is escaping me though.
Okay,
it
but
was
Idaho,
yes.
you know Idaho for sure.
Right, Idaho.
That's pretty cool.
Oh yeah, he's still there.
I got one as far as Seattle. I got one as far as Seattle. Went to
Okay.
junior high with her, and she ended up graduating from Plant when I went to Jefferson. Let's see, I've got, and I'm not going to use her name now because I want her to call in. I want her to call in and say hello. Also, I know as far north as, well, Richmond, Virginia for sure, but probably somewhere up in New York we've got one. We've got Houston represented. So Texas is well represented. And California as well. There's one in LA. So there's several out in California. But if you're out there watching from out of state especially, call in. Hey, line 4.
We have a call.
Shall we?
Yes, go. Let's
do
go.
this. Caller, this is the Tampa Native Show. My name is Mario. You knew that. There's Steve Canella. Say hello, caller.
Hello.
Caller, can we ask you to do one thing for us? Because I know this is kind of when you're calling in for the first time, you probably should turn down your TV and just talk to me, because there's a little bit of a delay and it might throw you off.
Okay.
Voice sounds familiar.
It
Probably
does.
is.
Hey, it's Marlene.
Oh, there
Oh,
she is, Marlene. Hi,
That's what it
Marlene.
was. Okay.
Hi, I'm glad to see you all here on TV.
The Tampa Native Show.
We're glad
How
to hear
about
from
that,
you.
huh?
We're glad to hear from you.
Yeah, this is great.
Well, I kind of had a sneaky suspicion that you might call today too, because I did get an email from you earlier, and the directions I gave you how to find us on Bright House was accurate. Yes.
Yes, it sure was.
Excellent.
Wonderful.
Excellent.
Yes, we found it.
Marlene, it's great to hear from you.
Marlene, tell us a little bit about your history.
Yeah, Marlene's got a fascinating
She's got a
history
fascinating
too,
history,
and along
exactly.
with her pop and
Exactly.
and Ybor City. Tell us real
Fascinating.
quick, Marlene. Tell us about your dad.
My dad's 91.
Yes.
Grew up in West Tampa, a block from McFarland Park.
Yes.
And he moved 3 blocks when he married my mother to Main Street, and he's still here right now. And I'm back with him.
And how's the alcalde doing these days? Because I know he wasn't feeling too good recently, but I think he rebounded. Is he doing okay?
Right, well, the last time Steve saw him, he had just fractured his back, and he didn't know it. So he's it's been a hard recovery, but he's doing better.
Good.
He's, that Spaniard hard-headedness, he's getting through it.
Well, that's probably what's going to keep him going for a little bit longer still.
That's right, that's right.
Marlene, tell us, elementary school, junior high, high school, and what year you graduated so everybody knows.
Villa Madonna, St. Joseph, Tampa Catholic, went to Jefferson a semester, but graduated from Tampa Catholic in 75.
Wonderful. Tampa Catholic's well
Oh, I know.
represented here as
Very
well.
well. Very well.
Marlene, thank you so much for calling. Listen, all our best to your dad, okay?
Thank you, and I hope to become more active with you all.
Thank you.
Please
Wonderful.
do. Please do.
Join us. Thank you.
Thank you, Marlene.
Bye-bye. We're rolling, brother. The lines just keep lighting up, and we're just
Wow.
happy. Who's on line 5? Care to guess?
I have no idea. Let's
Let's see who it is.
Let's see.
This is the Tampa Native Show. My name is Mario Nunez. That's Steve Canella. And who's on line 5?
Oh,
Caller, did we lose
I think
you?
we lost him.
We did.
Okay.
Call back, caller, because we know we want to talk to you, and we want to talk to you, and you want to talk to us. This is the Tampa Native Show. Mario Nunez, Steve Canella. Welcome to the Tampa Native Show. Who's on line 4?
Hello there.
Another familiar
Okay,
voice.
now I've got caller ID, so don't go too crazy on me, but it's showing. My Swami hat tells me that it's an L. Fernandez. Am I right?
It is an L. Fernandez, but it's better known as Tanya Fernandez.
Oh, there she is. There she is. And to those viewers out there who know me personally and know this lady, this is my prima, this is my cousin, Tanya Fernandez, a.k.a. Tanya Mendoza Fernandez. Hey, Boot.
Hey, Nancy.
We're so glad you're there. What's going on?
I just tuned in and saw my cousin and said, gotta call in.
Thank you so much. I put in several calls to your brother, and I couldn't reach him. So maybe after the show, we can both kind of pinch him a little bit from either side and tell him, oh, yeah, next week, watch the show and contribute a little bit, because it'd be great to hear from him as well.
Yeah, well, I can't reach him either.
I know. what's going on with Manito, man? We don't, anybody had a Manny Mendoza sighting lately? We don't know. Oh, yeah, how's everything run? Because I know that you're running crazy with everything you got going on. How's school?
School's fine.
Good.
School's fine. Started out a good year.
Tell everybody where you teach.
Okay, I teach at Leonard High School in Ruskin.
In Hillsborough County.
Okay.
In Hillsborough County.
Mm-hmm.
And
I went to Temple Terrace Elementary,
there you go.
Mm-hmm.
Greco Junior High,
Greco.
and Jefferson High School.
Another
class of
Jefferson.
77.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Jefferson class of 77, which that group, oh, by the way, and Tanya can verify this, they got a wonderful little nucleus of people that whenever they mobilize and they go to an event, they show up in big numbers. And kudos to them for sticking together as long as they have.
Yeah, class of 77's always been a great class.
Always been a great class. I'm so glad you called, Tanya. Thank you so much.
All right,
Thank you, Tanya.
take it easy.
Thank you.
Bye.
Hey, and call back again later.
All right.
All right. Thank you, sweetie.
right,
Bye-bye. Well, that was my
That was a
cousin.
nice surprise.
That was my cousin.
That's nice.
I hadn't heard from her, but I had a sneaky suspicion she might be calling as well.
Good.
Well, here they come. Hot and
Still
heavy.
coming in, huh?
30 minutes into the show, and,
Wow.
and the calls keep coming. Caller. Line 5. This is the Tampa Native Show. There's Steve Canella, and this is Mario Nunez. Who's on the line?
It's Carol from Richmond.
Wow, Carol from Richmond. There's my
Wow.
Richmond caller.
Okay, there she is.
Well, hello, Miss Sanborn Mitkiff. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
What's happening in your neck of the woods?
Not a whole lot.
Well, nothing today is happening over there? Nothing?
Nothing exciting?
It's September 1st.
It's my son's 21st birthday.
I think I saw something like that on the networking site. Yeah, well, that's a big event. You can give a shout out to your boy if he's watching with you.
He's not.
Okay, sorry.
Okay.
Sorry about that. Maybe you should have set the DVR and then you could have given him a shout out. So you're watching us online? Tell us, because you're one of the first callers calling from out of state. How does the picture online?
It's pretty good.
Pretty good? How the shirts look? Okay, from Richmond, the shirt look all right?
The shirts look good.
Fabulous. Well, tell us, Miss Carol from Richmond, where you went to elementary, junior high, and high school, and the year you graduated.
I went to Dickinson Elementary,
Town and country.
and then I moved away for a while,
Okay.
and then I went to Webb.
Web Spiders.
Yeah.
Thomas Jefferson,
Ah, another
Class
Jefferson.
of?
75.
Class of
Wow.
75. So Jefferson so far is out to an early lead here. You're getting a little
Exactly.
bit of that.
Yeah.
You feeling that? You feeling the Jefferson vibe here a little bit tonight?
I do.
Well, there's a couple of people out there from Robinson that yet need to call in, because Robinson should be pretty well represented.
And it's
South
Tampa
Tampa
Catholic.
Survivor Group out there watching, they should call in.
Exactly.
And TC, we got a lot of TC members that are out there watching.
Jesuit?
Jesuit should be.
We had,
Sue Ann from Lato and Marlene from Tampa Catholic.
Tampa
there
Catholic.
you go.
So we listen. This has just been quite a week for us. We mentioned earlier, worth mentioning again. Just this morning, we were on WMNF 88.5 with Franco Silva. He was gracious enough to give us the time to promote our show and promote the TampaNatives.com project. We can start calling it that. That sounds kind of cool.
That's what it is.
And then, day before yesterday, the Tampa Tribune did a big interview with us and took a lot of pictures. And that's about to hit the streets next Wednesday, but it'll be available online as early as tomorrow morning. So that's kind of special. And then here we are tonight on TV. So I don't know where we're going with all this, but I can tell you that it's been a fun ride. It continues to grow. And with everybody's help, we're going to do some special things. And I know you're in Richmond now, but the next time you're around, if we have a Tampa Natives event, bring all your friends.
All right.
Thanks for calling, Carol.
All right. Good luck.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Appreciate
Thank you,
your
Carol.
support.
All right.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Mario, we're getting another email.
Another email, Steve.
So let's, before you take that next call,
Please.
is our call still waiting?
Yep.
Okay, well, guess who just emailed us? It was Vince Calora.
Vinny.
And in fact, I saw Vince this morning at Panera's. I was just a coincidence, happened to run into him, but he went to St. Lawrence Elementary with me, and then also Tampa Catholic High School.
Okay.
And although I graduated from Hillsborough myself, but I was at Tampa Catholic 2 years.
Okay.
But Vinny Calora, he's a classic Tampa native. He knows a lot of people. He's related to a lot of people here. And he just wrote a little note saying, thanks for all your efforts, great show. And 77, class of 77, Tampa Catholic. So we have 2 Tampa Catholics now.
All right.
Okay.
All right. And you're keeping track, right?
I'm keeping track.
All right. Vince, thank you, brother, for chiming in. Vince was also, we got to say this about Vince. Before we get to the next caller, stay right there. We'll be right with you. Vince is such a trooper.
Oh, he is.
Is it okay to
yeah.
say?
Oh, yeah, we got to
Here
tell
we
that
go.
story.
Here we
Great
go.
story.
This is a great story. Vince is such a trooper that when we had that May 29th event, Hall of Notes, there was one person missing from the 49 that were there in attendance, and I had, we had a seat available in front of me, and it was empty for a good long while. Then we finally got word through a phone call that Vince
It was an accident.
was in an accident
Yep.
on the way to the game. And we're thinking, wow, man, is he cool? Is he all right? Is he hurt? Where is, what's happening? We didn't have any more information, except that we knew Vince was MIA, and
His car was totaled.
And his car was banged up, but we didn't know about Vince. What's going on, Vince? 3-4 innings go by.
He shows up.
Vince comes walking down the aisle. No worse for wear. I don't know what he did. I don't know if he carjacked somebody.
I still
or
don't
if
know how he
went-
got here.
If he went and rented a car. I don't know what he did, but the reality is he showed up. And we were so impressed that he made that effort. And then he stayed. He pretty much stayed through the bulk of the concert. Vince, you're a gamer, brother. And we're so happy that you're a part of our group.
He's a trooper.
And next time we want to see you at the next event as well. Thanks. Let's go to the phone. Oh, yep, we got 2 lines going.
Wow, good,
Here we
good.
go. Line 5 first. Line 5, this is the Tampa Natives Show. Turn down your TV and talk to us.
Hey, how you guys doing?
Good,
Thank
how are you?
This is Steve Canella, Mario Nunez. Who's on the line?
Hey, Trevor Gonzalez.
Robert, how you doing, brother?
Okay.
Great.
Hey, listen, I think we just kind of friended each other either yesterday or today, or that whole social networking thing. We're not supposed to say the name, but we'll leave it at that. How you doing, Robert?
Great. How about you guys?
Good, man.
Good,
This has
good.
been a good day for us all the way around. It's been a great week. And
Good. Congratulations on the show.
thank you so
Thank-
much,
thank you,
man. Thanks
Robert.
for your support, Robert. Hey, listen, Robert, tell us, what elementary school, junior high, and high school did you go to?
High school, Lato High,
Wow.
1975.
There's another Leto
75.
75. Sue Ann Peruli was there in 74. So we got Leto showing up now. Leto's making a little bid here for Robert.
I think they're running up.
Go ahead.
We want you to keep calling every week because as the show progresses, we got about 25 minutes left. We're going to announce some contests and some ways that you can win some free fun stuff. So make sure that you tell your friends also, oh yeah, these Tampa Natives guys are pretty good on TV. You got to watch them on Wednesday. What else would you be doing now, Robert?
Well, I'll probably be flying sometime with you and Americans.
There you go. We take a trip together, either that, or if I was home, you know what I would be doing? I'd probably be watching the Rays myself, but you know, we won't be talking about that. Hey, do you know how the game's going, by the way?
Yeah.
Are we winning?
Well, I'll be watching you guys.
Okay, good,
Okay.
Robert. Great answer.
Okay,
Oh, yeah.
good answer.
You're already number one in my book, brother. Thank you for calling, and listen, call back again next week, please.
I sure will.
Thanks,
Thank you,
Robert.
Take care.
You too. Thank you so much. Well, these calls are wonderful, man.
Oh, just a little quick shout out too. Just
Please.
a reminder, 254-7820 to call in. Also email, feel free to email at show@tampanatives, and that's natives with an S.com. show@tampanatives.com. Okay?
Very
send
good,
us your email.
Steve.
All
Thank
right.
you. Oh, 4 and 5, man. They're
Wow.
coming hot and heavy
Okay.
now, fast and furious. Line 4, Tampa Natives. This is Mario Nunez. That's Steve Canella. I got your name, but why don't you tell everybody who's on the call? Oh, they left.
Okay.
That was Michael Lawson. Michael,
Oh,
call
okay.
back.
Okay.
I got you on caller ID.
Bad connection.
I know, bad connection. Sometimes with a cell phone, you know, you drop those cell phones. Here we go. This is the Tampa Natives Show. You're on the air. Who's calling, please?
Charlotte Carr.
Well,
Ah,
Charlotte, how
okay,
are you?
okay.
Fine, I saw you, I heard you're on the M&S today.
Did you really?
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. True. Truth or dare. How do we sound?
Oh, good. I kept trying to check when it was on and everything because my boss graduated 78 from Hillsborough.
Very
Oh,
nice.
Really? What's the name?
What's the name?
Her name?
Mm-hmm.
Her name was Rose Stearns. No, it's Rose Lato.
Oh, wait.
Rose Stern.
That
Now
sounds-
Rose Lato. Rose
That
Stern.
sounds familiar. Real
We're gonna have. You know what we're gonna have
We'll
to
have
do?
to look it up.
We're
We'll
gonna
write it down.
have to bring our yearbooks in.
That's a good
As
point.
crazy as that sounds, but it might be a nice reference point. And at some point, maybe we can even pick up yearbooks from different
Yeah.
schools to have them here as a reference. Wouldn't that be kind
That's a
of
great
fun?
idea.
And her husband's Vince Lato.
There you go. Vince Lato's her
Oh,
husband.
okay.
Charlotte.
I'm a Tampa Bay native because, you know, when you live in Tampa Bay, you have to go into town years ago. Go into Tampa all the time.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But I went to kindergarten at Helen Hill,
Okay.
Hyde Park. Went to St. Paul's
Nice.
on 15th and Sanchez.
Absolutely.
And then ended up at Riverview Elementary for a bit and Providence Christian in Brandon and graduated USF in 79 and graduated
Wow.
Providence in 76.
Excellent.
Charlotte, that's wonderful. That is absolutely
Wow.
wonderful. Hey, listen, the nice part about this is that, you know, Tampa, as much as it's grown in its geography as far as being spread out over the years, really and truthfully, it still has, in certain circles, a real small town feel to it. And when we hear callers like yourself, or like the one just before Robert, you know, you just kind of realize, wow, man, this is a real special place. And we grew up in a real special time here. And that's kind of what this show is all about, and we're hoping that everybody's getting the same feeling from it.
Yeah, sometimes it's a shame it has to change, doesn't it?
I feel like that, and you know
Sure.
what? All you have to do is take a little trip down to Ybor City, go over to La Segunda Central Bakery, get yourself a little pastelito de guayaba and a cup of Cuban coffee. And you know, for a minute there, you're back in time.
Yeah, good job.
There you
It
go.
comes back, exactly.
Steve is a big fan of escachata. I've seen him eat half a tray by himself. I mean, I'm not kidding. I've seen it done.
I ordered some the other day, actually.
We don't have the sea breeze anymore, Mill Bellas.
I know, honey.
Oh,
And listen, we're
I
going to
know.
talk about all of that absolutely as we go forward with the show. We've got all those pictures that we're going to show behind us, and those are going to be. We'll describe that in a few minutes how we're going to format the show going forward. But listen, Charlotte, we got other callers. Thank you so much for your support and for calling in today.
Thank you.
Thanks, Charlotte.
Thank you. This is wonderful.
This is great.
This
This
is
is great. A
wonderful.
lot of response.
Here we go. Caller again.
Wow.
The phones have not stopped. This is the Tampa Native Show. You're on line 4, and who might I be speaking with?
Hi, it's Randy. How are you?
Hi, Randy. How are you? I see your name on caller ID, and I see you out there in TV land as well. Hi, Randy.
I thought I'd give you a call. I've been watching you.
Well, good. How do we
Good.
look?
And I'm definitely a Tampa native.
Good.
Tampa native, and you know what, Randy? You're going to be the first South Tampa survivor that's going to give us that Robinson High School graduation, I think. Am I correct?
You are definitely correct.
Well, give us
Oh,
the
nice.
elementary, junior high, and high school. Go.
Lanier, Monroe, and Robinson.
And listen, I remember distinctly the Madison were the Mustangs. Was Monroe the Rebels?
They were.
Okay. You know, I was a Coleman Cobra back in those days, and I remember we used to, you know, that was part of the group that we played always in football. And I had a blank the other day. I couldn't remember what Monroe's nickname was.
They
And
changed to the Chargers the year that after I graduated from Monroe.
which was?
They changed to the Chargers the year after I left.
You came out. What year did you leave Monroe? Do you recall?
Well, I graduated in 74, so
Okay.
probably what,
71? Yeah, 71. 71. Yeah, well, you know, listen, those were great rivalries back then, too. You know what I mean? Because we knew that you guys fed into Robinson like the Coleman people fed into Plant. And, you know, Plant and Robinson always had that inner-city rivalry for many, many years. And so that was a lot of fun. Well, Randy, thanks so much for calling. And listen, stay with us now because, like I said, we're going to have some contests. We're going to have some fun giveaways. And there's nothing more we enjoy more than sending stuff your way.
Thank you. Excellent show. both
Thanks.
of you.
Thank you, Randy. Thanks for your
Randy.
support. We really appreciate it.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
For the next call, Mario, we have
Yes.
a important announcement, or actually an email from Mike McCall.
Mike McCall.
And
We have a Mike McCall sighting.
Mike, thanks for the update. A game is tied 1-1, bottom of the 8th.
Excellent.
That just came in, and also
Thanks,
Mike.
Really, I want to know that score.
And he was a Monroe Rebel.
Oh, it was?
Robinson, 1967.
Robinson. You know,
Yeah.
I know there's a lot of South Tampa survivors out there. Maybe we should at least give our cousins
Absolutely.
from South Tampa a little plug
Absolutely.
right about now.
Exactly.
Because there's a group that formed, spawned, if you will, from the Tampa Natives group, and they are known as. They don't call themselves. They are known as. They own this.
They are.
The South. They are. Thank you.
STS.
Thank you, partner. STS, the South Tampa Survivors.
Right.
And to be honest with you, they bring a lot of energy to the party. They had a big throwdown back in June. I mean, you know, it really was an amazing event when you consider how many people showed up. They had 2 live bands, the food, the drink, the merriment. The only thing I wish it could have been a little bit cooler because by that time we were locked into the summer heat. But aside from all of that, the South Tampa Survivor Group, they're something special as well, and we're happy to have them join in whenever they can. We're going to do more stuff with them in the coming years.
They're a fun group.
South
They
Tampa
really are.
Survivors. And, you know, of course, I guess South Tampa Survivors in the sense that they went to Robinson and, and grew up in Port Tampa and all south of Gandy. It's funny because there's the Nogs and the Sogs.
The Sogs.
And the Sogs refer to themselves as, those are the people that grew up south of Gandy, Sog. And, of course, the Nogs are NOG north of Gandy. And then I guess there's the Sox, the SOKs south of Kennedy, and the Knox, the NOK. It gets very complicated at that
It gets
point.
confusing. It does.
It gets a little complicated. But we're happy that the South Tampa Survivors are out there and watching tonight as well. We got another caller.
Another caller. Wow.
This is fabulous.
This is.
Line 4, you're on the air.
Mario, it's Buddy.
Oh, it is Buddy, isn't it? Look, I saw El Fernandez and I said, wait a minute. Tanya can't be calling back. She didn't forget to tell me something. Well, hello, buddy.
How you doing, guys?
Is-
Congratulations.
Hey,
on the show.
thank
you
you.
so much. Is it okay to call you Captain Fernandez too, or should I just go with Buddy?
You can call me whatever you want.
Well, you can call me Ray, or you can call me Jay, or you can call me Johnny. This is my cousin's husband, Buddy Fernandez, and I've known him only since I was a teenager. And what a great guy and a wonderful part of our family. Bud, what's going on? How the kids?
I just wanted to call in and give my support and also to give my story.
Please?
Definitely. Please do.
I'm a true Tampa native. I was born in Ybor City.
There you go.
My parents moved to West Tampa when it was just a small town at that time. I remember distinctly as a small child running in the yard in my council seals and the sprinklers in the summertime.
That's the only way we cooled off.
Absolutely. I went to Armenia Baptist
There you go.
for kindergarten, where I didn't know how to spell my name the first day.
Anda.
Went to school during the whole busing issue, or should I call it debacle.
Yes.
I went to McFarland Park, Cuesta. I went to I went to the 6th grade center over at Cuesta. I went to 7th grade center over at West Tampa Junior High. Then I went to Pierce Junior High and
Wow.
finished up at Jefferson, class of '79.
There it is.
You are a true Tampa native.
Another drag. No. Deep roots, deep roots. And Bud, if I'm not mistaken, did you not have a little time spent there at that famous, world famous Spanish restaurant between 21st and 22nd on 7th Avenue, that restaurant that's near and dear to our hearts? Didn't you work there for a little while too?
Mario, I've received a lot of culture at the Columbia restaurant.
Attaboy, attaboy.
Very sweet deal right there. I learned a lot. Got to meet a lot of people.
Nice.
And I learned from the best, of course. You're old man.
Thank you, baby. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. And the viejos at home watching now, and he appreciates that as well. Buddy, you know how I feel about you and Tanya, so, you know.
Good luck to you guys. I hope everything goes well, and we'll call you again.
Yeah, please
Much
do.
love. Please do, buddy.
We
Thank
want
you
to
so
call.
much.
Good show. Bye-bye.
Thank you,
you.
bud.
That's awesome.
Wow, this is great.
This is
I
awesome.
get goosebumps, man. This is wonderful.
It's
This
an overwhelming
is,
response.
Yeah, it is.
It really
it
is.
We got more to cover, but we
have
want to
more-
take
we
each
have
and
more
every
calls?
one. Well, got another one right here waiting.
Okay. Wow.
Line 5, this is the Tampa Native Show. We're happy that you're on the line. Who's talking, please? Who's there?
Marcelo.
Look at this, Mr.
No way.
Wow.
Marcelo.
Thank you.
Well, thank you, sir. Muchísimas gracias, caballero. How are you doing? Thank you,
So
Marcelo.
glad.
We're so happy that you called.
I'm
Your
so
daughter
glad.
put you up to it. I know she did.
We met recently.
Yeah, no, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. We're so happy
great.
that
That's
you're
great.
you're watching. And listen, we may, with your permission, at some point down the road, si te sientes bien y quieres, we're going to have you on the show with us as a special VIP guest. Now, that's up to you if you're willing to come in, pero we'd love to have you on the show. Thank you, Marcelo.
Perfect.
Thank
would
you
love
so
that.
much for calling, okay? Thank
Good,
you. It's only
good.
going to get better. And thank you. You just made it real good tonight,
Yes.
too, Marcelo. Thank
Yes.
you. Cuídate.
He's got,
Bye-bye.
an awesome history.
91 years
Awesome
old.
history.
That's wonderful.
Big baseball.
No,
player,
no, no.
fan.
The man is a walking history lesson just to sit and talk with him. you know?
Phenomenal story.
And I think, if I'm not mistaken, Dan Perez, if you're out there watching, you can correct me. I believe he was the last mayor, alcalde of Ybor City, because,
Right.
you know, at one point Ybor City was its own municipality. Before it was folded into the Tampa City Council and the Tampa City proper, it had its own waterworks, it had its own city council and its own mayor. And I remember distinctly growing up, and alcalde.
Marcelo, he's a
Marcelo.
living legend.
Yeah,
in Tampa.
and
He really is.
that call there was
Now, speaking of true Tampa natives,
pretty special.
There it was. I mean,
Yeah.
we're all true Tampa natives, but he's a
He's
living,
the-
living legend.
It could
Oh,
be
yeah.
the original. I mean, he's 91. Anybody out there any older? I don't know. With as much history.
glad he called.
Listen, we've got just about 12 minutes to go. I've got some notes here that I want to go over. I got to take this call. Because I can't leave anybody stranded. Caller line 4, and here he is. I've been waiting all night for this one. I got you on caller ID. Why don't you? Yes, we do. Why don't you tell everybody who this is? This is our South Tampa survivor, our big brother. This is none other than Mr. Gary Ippolito. How you
This is
doing,
Gary.
Gary?
Hey,
Man,
Big
we're
Gary.
doing fabulous, Steve. Steve knows about your impending knee surgery, and he's wishing you well. And
Yeah, good luck, Gary.
yeah, we've been following your progress real good. You're one of our biggest supporters from the first time we mentioned that we were going to have this program on the air. We just like to thank you, Gary, for always being there for us, man. You're a big brother.
Well, you know we appreciate you too, and I've been trying like crazy to get through, but you've been busy every time.
Really?
I call.
That's pretty impressive.
That's yeah.
I tell you what, it's been overwhelming. We were thinking we would wait until about 30 minutes into the show to open the lines, and we started them, I guess, at about 20 minutes in, maybe even 15 minutes in. It's been nonstop, Gary. If you've been watching,
Yeah.
it's been nonstop.
I started calling at 9:15. It's the first time I got through.
Wow.
Wow.
That's amazing.
Well, listen, for all of you that are out there and you hear me talking to Gary, us talking to Gary, don't be dismayed. If we don't get to you tonight, send us an email. We're going to solicit your emails in just a little bit. And do call in next week. We're going to have a lot of fun with this call-in format. Tonight, we just wanted to see who was out there and who might be listening. And boy, have we found out in a big way. Thank you, Gary. Oh, yeah, tell us before we go, elementary, junior high, high school. Tell us what you did at Robinson, that team that you were on, real quick. And then tell us what year you graduated. Go.
40 Wilson Plant Robinson State Champ 71.
There it
Wow,
is.
good,
There it
good.
is. That's our friend, Gary Ippolito. Thanks, big guy.
Thanks, Gary.
Thanks, Brian. Hey, did you give a shout out to Mike White, Jeff Bowen?
Michael hasn't called in yet. I know Mikey's out there watching, but we'll do it right now. Mike White, Jeff Bowen, get well soon. Call us when you get a chance. We know you're out there watching. Thank you, Gary.
Thank you.
Thanks, Gary.
That's great. Okay, real quick before that light lights up again, and I know that it will. I just wanted to tell you real quick on that TampaNatives.com page that you can go to. You'll find over 850 archival photos. Photos that some people have submitted, photos from Burger Brothers collection, and at the same time, over 350 discussion threads. It was those discussion threads, easy for me to say, that prompted us to do something in more of a format like this where we can interact with the community, because we knew that these stories are out there. And we have a wonderful resource that we can reach into and grab, but there are still some people out there that don't even know we exist because maybe they're not online. And those are the people we want to reach out to. We want to mention also that we're going to have a contest every week, and this is a good time to mention it because we got just a little bit of time left, whereby we're going to revisit a game that was very popular here in Tampa in the 20s, 30s, and 40s. Many of you may know what that sound indicates. These are, well, they're not official Bolita balls, but they are actually wooden bingo balls. Now, what we're going to ask you to do, if you will, is sometime this week, send in an email to Steve or to Mario at show at tampanatives.com. Show at tampanatives.com. Send in an email. It could be brief. It could say something like, hey, you guys look great on camera, and my lucky number is, just make sure you include a number between 1 and 75. Then next week, we'll shake this bag up real good, Steve. We'll show you how it's going to work. Steve will reach in there real quick.
Got one right now.
And pull one out, and the number is?
34.
I won. I won a shirt. What did I win? Well, hold that, Steve. Put that ball back in there. We've actually got 2 shirts. This one here. I'll hold. There's that camera one.
There it is.
This one here, which is the one that Steve's wearing. And yes, if it does look a little big, it kind of is, but that's okay because it's a great sleep shirt. Or if you're a big fella, I hope you win it. And the other one is just like the one that I'm wearing, which is the Tampa Natives shirt. And on the back, I haven't turned around so you can see the back, but there's the back. It's the Columbia Restaurant logo. That's pretty jazzy. So send in your emails. We'll draw 2 winners next week. We'll have the list. You'll know on the air who wins. Well, let's just say closest to the number without going over.
Right.
Sort of like the showcase with Bob Barker.
Exactly.
Closest to the number without going over.
Without overbidding.
Okay? Real quick. Oh, I got line 4 lit up.
Uh-oh.
We have
All right,
time?
yeah, I'm going to take the call. I can't leave anybody out. And then I'll tell you some of the topics we're going to talk about next week. Caller, this is the Tampa Native Show. This is Mario Nunez. That's Steve Canella. And who's on the line?
This is Sally. I'm calling from Citrus Park.
Oh, well, hello, Miss Sally. How are you?
I recognize that voice.
You guys look great.
Thank you. Thank you.
Looks like it's a big success.
Thank you.
I kind of thought it was going to be. But I went to Anderson, Madison, and Robinson High School, and I graduated with your
With the
that you bumped into out there in the lobby earlier.
I know.
On Reed.
I know. Well, listen, we've got about 6 minutes left in the show. I'm going to read some of this information that I have prepared. I'll see you in just a little while. Thank you for calling, honey. We appreciate it.
Okay.
Thanks, Sally.
Thank you.
Great job, guys.
Glad
Thank you
called
so
in.
much.
Oh, quick update, too. Mike McCall just updated us. 2-1, us.
2-1 us. That means
That's
raise. 2-1 us.
All right.
2-1 good guys.
Thanks, Mike.
Thank you, Sally, for calling. That was my lovely wife, Sally. I'm glad she called. All right, these are going to be some of the topics that we'll be covering to kind of whet your appetite for next week and weeks forthcoming. Braddock Street and Christmas time on Braddock Street. Lowry Park, and in particular, Lowry Park on Easter Sunday for those of us that experienced that. Wrestling, both at the Armory and at the Sportatorium.
A lot of history there.
Big 13, the Mary Ellen Show, Ernie Lee. Playing Little League Baseball in Tampa. Boy, that's going to be a great show. Which CTRD, which is the City of Tampa Recreation Department neighborhood playground, did you go to growing up? That's going to be a great show. How about the Florida State Fair when it was right here around the corner from these studios off of North Boulevard between Kennedy and Cass? Remember those days? How about pet shops in the area? Pet shops.
That's right.
And alligators when they were for sale in the pet shops.
And piranhas.
And piranhas, Steve says. I never owned a piranha. How about Highlight on Friday and Saturday nights? Or how about Shock Armstrong or Dr. Paul Bearer? The Tampa, the Palace, or the Florida Theaters. Eastgate, Westgate, Northgate, and Southgate, better known as Britton Plaza. Were you Little General or 7-Eleven?
I was a little general guy.
Curtis Hickson or Bayfront Center or Lakeland Civic Center for your music needs. How about Krispy Kreme or Dunkin' Donuts?
Exactly.
All right. Or Shakey's Pizza or Jay Burns Pizza or the Pizza Parlor. We've got Kentucky Fried Chicken or Maryland Fried Chicken or possibly Chicken Delight. That was a
was
neighborhood
going back.
chicken store. Yeah, neighborhood chicken store that delivered chicken back then. Pretty good stuff. Saturday morning cartoons. The Outer Limits, Twilight Zone, Terminus Theater, or maybe American Bandstand, Soul Train, Shindig, and Hullabaloo, just to give you an idea of where this show is going to go. We've got one question that we have to ask before we go off the air, and this may be when you send in your lucky number, answer this question for us, everybody. If we were to consider getting a Tampa Natives crew, spelled Krewe, Tampa Natives crew, to participate in all the Gasparilla festivities, would you like to participate? I know myself growing up here, I've always aspired to be in that parade, and I've never walked in the parade. I'm going to be 50 boom in a couple of weeks, and I would like to do that before it's too late. So if you would like to participate and you think that's a good idea, send us an email and let us know, because we'll start to formulate that plan. And if you want to volunteer to work on that committee, let us know that as well. We've got 2 minutes to go, Stevie. I've been talking so much. Partner, you want to say something? We've got 2 minutes to go.
Well, I just want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight and watching our premiere debut of the Tampa Natives show. And basically, we're bringing Tampa Natives to life, and we're sharing the stories in real time. Live call-in format. This is wonderful. Overwhelming success tonight.
I'm sorry you weren't on the camera because our director fell asleep at the switch.
Okay.
But it looked like I should have been moving my mouth. That was actually Steve talking. There he is. There's the two-shot. But if I can take a minute to echo Steve's sentiment, this has been an incredible odyssey. Only a year and a half, and we have covered some ground. Steve and I are proud to be a part of kind of the leadership and on the front end of this thing. But we do this for you guys, and we do this for our grandparents, our abuelos, and our parents, to keep the stories alive and to preserve the legacy.
Mario, it's all about bringing back the memories of growing up in Tampa, preserving our history, our heritage, and our community.
And I know how I felt about growing up here in the 60s and 70s, and I can tell you that it was just a wonderful, wonderful place to grow up. We didn't need much. We didn't have much. I mean, playing out in the front yard, playing in the ditch, collecting grasshoppers, or playing at the field, or playing war, riding your bikes forever, going everywhere. That's what this show is hopefully going to represent to a lot of people.
Right.
Steve, I tell you what, we got 30 seconds to go. Finish it up. I got something real quick I want to say, but
I just want to thank everybody again for participating tonight, all the callers, and any questions, call us or email us at show@tampanatives.com.
Please do email us, because we're looking forward to those emails. We'll be back here next week. What a wonderful show. Until next week, be on the lookout for each other. And for my partner, Steve Cannell, I'm Mario Nunez.
Salute.
Salute and happy
Happy
days.
days.
Until next week. Bye-bye, everybody.